Okay, hello students. So today we'll try to understand the chapter The Flowery Birth. So since there is I can't find anything in the from the internet, so I have clicked the picture of your whole chapter. So from this I'll try to make you clear. Okay, so this is Flowery Birth. Now try to listen and try to understand it. Okay, I have also attached the word meaning uh, after this, so you can always refer to it. So now paragraph 1. During the King George VI and Queen Elizabeth's tour to Canada in 1939, Her Majesty sent the bouquet presented to her in Toronto to patient in the city hospitals. So now this is the story when the King Sixth and Queen Elizabeth. Okay, King George, he was the king of United Kingdom, and and Queen Elizabeth. Okay, they toured to Canada in the year 1939. Okay, so Her Majesty is the word used for royal power. So king and queen. So sent the bouquet presented to her in Toronto to patient in the city hospital. So in the year 1939, King George VI and Queen Elizabeth, okay, they sent a bouquet presented to her in Toronto to patient in the city hospital. So they sent a bouquet in the Toronto, okay, patients in the city hospital. So in the maternity word is a ward in the hospital where especially the uh, you know women, uh, a pregnant woman, okay, and the babies, okay, were kept. So in the maternity ward of St. Michael's, where I was that day, each patient received a tiny white rosebud from the special bouquet in the memory of her visit. So during that time, where the narrator of this flowery birth, okay, I was that day, each patient received a tiny rosebud. So that day the narrator was also on the same hospital in the maternity ward, okay, and that day each patient received a tiny white rosebud. So on that day every patient in that maternity ward, okay, got a white rosebud from the queen and the king, Queen Elizabeth and the King George VI, okay, and from the special bouquet in the memory of her visit. So every patient in the maternity ward got a white rosebud in the memory of the queen's visit. So many years later, okay, now I gathered present for my son's birthday. Now since this is after so many years when the authors son grew up, okay, he married, and he had one daughter also, small daughter also. So now after so many years, so the author was gathering present for her son's birthday, since that day was the birthday of her son, and she planned to have a dinner with her son, his wife, and a small daughter in the suburb. Okay, suburb is a city, especially the residence. Okay, so the young taxi driver was cut to the point of surliness. So now she needs to take a taxi to go to the suburbs. So now she took a taxi and was cut to the point of surliness, and that taxi driver was very rude, okay, and began driving at a dangerous speed, and the taxi driver began driving at a very dangerous speed. So to slow him down, the author, very softly she said that, could you take a little easier, right? Could you take a little easier, because I got some present for my son's birthday today. So today is my son's birthday, so I have a gift, okay, for my son, and few are breakable. So if you drives in a dangerous speed, then it might get broke. So she asked taxi driver very softly that could you please slow it down. Then the taxi driver replied, it is my birthday too. Today is my birthday also, he said, and nobody giving me any presents. But nobody is giving me any presents. The tone was bitter. Okay, again he said that today is my birthday also, but nobody is giving me any presents. So he said, and I started to talk, and then the author started talking to that driver and discovered that he was separated, broke, and generally fed up with life. And finally, she discovered that the driver was separated, okay, with his parents, okay, and he was broke and he was not happy with his life, okay, fed up with his life. I asked his age, and then the other asked his age. Why you are the same age as my son? And then she found that the taxi driver and her son was the same age, okay, and they took birth on the same day. So I said, where were you born? Okay, and he replied, Tornado. What hospital? St. Michael's. Okay, I said exactly. So it means that the taxi driver and the other son took birth on the same day at the same hospital. Okay, and then she said exactly that then your mother and I were there giving birth to our son. So me then your mother and I were there on the same hospital, okay, in the maternity ward, giving birth to our sons. At the same time, she must have told you, right? Don't she must have told you the story about the time of your birth, okay, the day of your birth. Then he broke as acidly, and she died when I was a baby. Okay, then he replied that she died when I was a baby. So I leaned forward and touched his shoulder. So the author feel very bad to hear that, and she leaned forward and she touched his shoulder and she said, would you like to know what it was like the day you were born? So would you like to listen? Would you like to know so what it was like the day where you born? So my son liked to hear it. My son liked it very much to hear about the day when he took birth. So if you want, then I can tell you. So he relaxed a little and nodded, okay, and then she described the scene, the crowds in the street because of the royal visit. So that day when your mother and I was in the maternity ward, so that time there was a royal visit. The king and the queen both visited the hospital, and then my concern that the doctor wouldn't make it through the traffic jams, and due to the visit of the king and queen, there was a huge traffic jams, and they were so worried. And then by the time I got to the queen bouquet of white rosebud, and then even they both of them got the queen's bouquet of a white rosebuds. Okay, we even got a white rosebud from the bouquet of the queen. He had arrived at my son's house. So when she was telling the story, finally they reached the destination, that is the other son's house. So driver pulled to a stop. So driver stopped the taxi and turned around and gazed at me with a strange and wondering look, and then the driver gazed at the author with a very strange and wondering look, eh? He said very very softly, and at last the driver said very softly, okay, before he was very rude, eh? He was very fed up, not happy with his life, or maybe maybe he lost his mother at a very early age, and he don't know about his birthday, okay, since today is his birthday also. But when the driver had a conversation with the author, she told so many things about his birthday, okay, and then he said very softly at last, then that's what the dried up petals are in my mother's Bible. Oh, that's why today I know the reason that why my mother kept a dried up petals, okay, in her Bible. I always wonder, right, why she kept those dried up petals in the Bible. But today, due to you, I was able to know the reason behind that. So the taxi driver also feel very happy. So now this is written by Lota Dempsey. So uh, provide you with this word meaning. Okay. Xerxes was a king of United Kingdom, majesty, royal power, bouquet, and attractively arranged bunch of flower. Maternity word, a word in a hospital allocated for the treatment and care of women and babies during pregnancy and childbirth. Okay. Suburbs and outlying district of a city, especially a residential one. Cut is a rudely brief. Okay. Surliness, surly is someone who is bad temper. So please you refer to this word meaning, and again you read your books and try to understand it. Okay, so I'll be sending you questions also related to this chapter. So thank you.